Hello and welcome into episode 4 of Quakes Exclusive. Coming up on today's show, we're going to break down what led up to Christian Espinoza's fantastic game-winning goal against Colorado. We'll hear from the winger himself about his strong start to the season, and we'll talk about some of the strategies as the Quakes take on St. Louis City SC this weekend. Welcome into Studio 74 at PayPal Park alongside the former Earthquakes midfielder and Team Hall of Famer Chris Dangerfield, World Cup reporter Carlos Eustace. I'm Kylan Mills. We are so excited to be talking about the second straight victory for the San Jose Earthquakes. The Quakes took down the Colorado Rapids 1-0 in an exciting match right here at PayPal Park. Now that you've had a couple days to process, Danger, what did you like about the Quakes' performance?
6 points so far from 3 games is a really good start to the season. And when you're playing against the likes of Colorado Rapids, Vancouver, Houston even, at home at PayPal Park, for me, they are must-win games in the Western Conference, especially when you see teams like LAFC, Austin, even St. Louis doing so well this season. We talked about having to have patience against a team like the Rapids. They came with a defensive mindset. If they were happy to get 1 point out of it, maybe try and steal the 3. And they came with a 3-4-3 formation that moved into a 5 at the back quite quickly. The Quakes were quite not on the pace, especially in the first half, not quite precise enough with their passing. And it was difficult to break down that Colorado Rapids defense. But overall, at the end of the day, it was a really good win.
And especially when you think about it, one of the main keys to the game, and talking about patience, also comes in defense, because the San Jose Earthquakes did not allow a single shot on target this past game, and that comes from having a good organized defense. What Jonathan Mensah has come in order, what Carlos Grueso gives you on those movements backs, having Rodriguez been able to step up, and even the guys outside, Trauco and Acapo, when they had to come back, they were making this very solid. So you have to win games by not giving up anything, and especially when you're facing a low block like that, those counterattacks are really impressive, they're really fast, and you have to be able to win those one-to-one battles, and that's why they did. And even though they didn't quite create a lot of opportunities, somebody has to step up and show who's boss there, and Christian Espinoza came in and had a great game, and then when the moment counted, he made it count.
It was a fantastic performance from Espinoza. Speaking of Espinoza, he hit an absolute banger in the 78th minute to lift the Earthquakes to victory. Walk us through that goal, Danger.
Yeah, once again, Christian Espinoza stepped up for the Earthquakes, I thought, big time. The game was similar to the Vancouver game in some respects, because in the first half, the Quakes were a little bit flat, but even then, Espinoza was the best attacking player on the field. He created crosses from the right-hand side. He had a fantastic strike from outside the box that Yarbrough did so well to push onto the crossbar. In the second half, once again, Lucci made those changes. You could see the team had a lot more energy, a lot more direct, and they were led on the right-hand side by both Christian Espinoza and also Carlos Acapo getting down that right-hand side, creating opportunities. But as the game went on, that final pass was not quite there once again. They were getting frustrated, and it needed somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and it was Espinoza. When the ball dropped around the top of the penalty area, he had the ability to get the ball out of his feet real quick and take the strike on. It was a slight deflection, I feel, that came off a Colorado Rapids defender. A lot of work there that for the goalkeeper, Yarbrough. He did his best to try and keep it at the goal, but it was a fantastic, powerful strike by Christian Espinoza, and it turned out to be the game winner.
Espinoza is really establishing himself as the leader of this Earthquakes attack. A goal and 2 assists now in 3 games. Our Carlos Eustace sat down with Espinoza to talk about his strong start to the season.
Bueno, amigos de Quakes Exclusive, estamos con el autor del gol de la victoria, Christian Espinoza. Christian, first of all, I heard your English is coming along. How do you feel after the win on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that with the years I were improving my English with the help of my teammates, of course. And I feel great, so I'm very comfortable to speak in English too.
Bueno, vamos a pasar al español, que es lo nuestro. Este fin de semana anotas el gol de la victoria. Al principio de tu carrera tal vez los goles no caían tanto. ¿Cómo agregaste eso para que sea una parte fundamental? Porque además tienes un disparo impresionante.
No, yo creo que fue algo que siempre lo busqué. Muchas veces he tenido mala suerte a veces en los tiros porque como pasó en el primer tiempo, el arquero la tocó y pegó en el travesaño y la pelota salió. Otras veces me ha pasado ya situaciones parecidas. Pero bueno, siempre trato de ir mejorando, de ir buscándome también los espacios para poder tener un disparo claro al arco, porque a veces cuando uno juega como extremo son pocas las chances que tenemos quizás de disparo al arco, entonces uno también tiene que ir buscándose los espacios para tener variantes.
En este nuevo equipo eres una de las partes importantes, es de los jugadores con más experiencia. ¿Qué has podido aportar junto con Luchi para que este equipo pueda arrancar de la manera que arranca?
Yo creo que el trabajo, dejando en claro nuestros objetivos planteados desde la pretemporada, tratamos los más grandes también de inculcarle esos a los más chicos que tienen que esforzarse mucho para poder estar en el 11 inicial. Obviamente que después el que decide es el técnico, pero de parte nuestra como jugadores tenemos que dejarnos todo en cada entrenamiento, en cada partido, y ya después va a ser decisión del técnico quién entra y quién sale del equipo, y cada uno tiene que estar preparado para cuando le toque, y esa es nuestra mentalidad como equipo para poder llegar a lo más alto.
Te estás acercando al récord de Shea Salinas de asistencias, apenas a 4. ¿Has platicado con Shea de qué se siente que te acerques y además en la mitad de partidos?
Sí, no mucho, pero con Shea nos hemos cruzado siempre en los pasillos del club, y el otro día en la semana, antes del partido con Colorado, me dijo que me calme un poco con las asistencias, que el récord de él tenía que durar un poco más, pero bueno, nada, son números que, como siempre digo, no soy de seguirlos tan seguido, los números se van dando solos, y bueno, ya el momento llegará cuando tenga que llegar. Ojalá que sea lo más antes posible, porque significa que voy a seguir ayudando al equipo para poder ganar. Así que, Jay, I'm coming for you.
Y bueno, la última, nos has dejado una imagen muy linda en los partidos de local, con tu familia en la cancha, tus hijos que son de San José, ¿no? ¿Para ti qué es eso, poder representar al club de la ciudad donde son tus hijos y tenerlos aquí cada semana?
Es algo muy especial, siempre lo dije, que pase lo que pase en el futuro, San José siempre va a estar grabado en mi corazón. Mis hijos nacieron acá, son de acá. Mi hijo, el más grande, siente el fútbol de una manera muy especial, aunque sea muy chiquito. Cada vez que hay un partido, mi esposa siempre lo graba, él a veces en ciertos momentos, y él está muy enfocado, gritando, alentando, lo siente mucho, y es algo muy lindo poder compartirlo con ellos.
Pues bueno, ahí lo tienen, Cristian Espinoza, el autor del gol, y bueno, vamos Quakes.
Vamos Quakes.
The Earthquakes will be looking to Espinoza for a lot of leadership, especially as they will be without a key player this upcoming weekend. Midfielder Montero received a red card in stoppage time of the Colorado game. He will be suspended for this Saturday's match. What exactly happened on that exchange?
I mean, it's a play down the sideline, ball goes out, it's going to be a throw-in. Tommy Thompson gets into it, one of the players from the Rapids, and Montero comes in and tries to separate people. His hand does got to the neck of one of the players, and the ref decided that was enough contact to pull out the red card, unfortunately.
You know, Carlos, this is going to be a big week now for some of these players in training under Luchi Gonzalez, because who's going to step in and play in that position for Jamiro Montero? There's a lot of different options. Sometimes the coach can look at this and also maybe even change the formation and go 3 at the back. You've got the likes of Michael Bardissimo, Tommy Thompson coming in, and also Jack Scahan, sort of a like for like in there. From my perspective, what I've seen so far this season, I think that Michael Bardissimo's coming into that role, playing in the same position as Jamiro, maybe a slight tweak tactically with how Jackson York is slotting alongside Carlos Grueso, but that's the combination I think is most likely for Luchi Gonzalez to try and go with, but that's why Luchi gets the big dollars, right?
I like that we're joking about Luchi. This is why he gets paid the big bucks, right? This is going to be a tough problem to solve. We'll see exactly what happens. The Quakes are going to have a big test coming up this weekend, though, facing St. Louis City SC. They're 3-0 on the season. Maybe surprising some folks, Danger. How have they been able to be so successful?
Yeah, and St. Louis is the team that's had a really good start to the season. They've already had 3 victories on the year. They lead the league in goals scored with 8. They've had road victories in Portland and also in Austin. They've beaten Charlotte FC in front of a sellout crowd. It's a team that likes to play on the front foot, a very aggressive style of soccer, and I think it's going to be a big test for Luchi and his team going into St. Louis this weekend.
One thing that's interesting about that St. Louis City attack is they're so efficient. They've scored that Western Conference leading 8 goals, but they have not yet outpossessed an opponent. Carlos, who do the Quakes need to be aware of in that attack?
Well, when you think about their technical director having ties to Germany, there's two players that stand out to me. The first one is Eder Leffen. He comes with a lot of experience from Bundesliga, playing for Nuremberg, for Hertha Berlin, for Bochum, and then he's a really big number 10 that can play that 10 position. He can play that double shield. He's almost 6'3" with 200 pounds, but with a really good foot, and he's already found the scoring chances in this beginning of the season. And the other one will be the Brazilian Joao Klaus. He's also somebody who has ties to Germany, playing for Hoffenheim before coming over here. It's a big target. He knows how to turn his back on you, use his body, lay off balls to somebody who's crashing the box. So it's going to be a handful for the San Jose defense.
I think another player worth mentioning as well, Carlos, is their goalkeeper and captain, Roman Bürki, who played 7 years in the Bundesliga for Dortmund as well. So another player with that German Bundesliga experience. It's a good roster.
This game is going to be a huge test for the San Jose Earthquakes. The Quakes take on St. Louis City SC on the road on Saturday, 5:30 Pacific time kickoff. You can watch that game right here on Apple TV's MLS Season Pass. That'll do it for us here from Quakes Exclusive. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.